Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to dive into how I set up my budget for the month of May. I'll walk you through our categories, our budget breakdown, and of course, everyone's favorite part, the cash stuffing. Before we jump into the first paycheck of May, I want to talk about why budget categories matter and how they help me stay on track. So budget categories really do three things for me. They let me clearly see where our money is going, make setting up my budget so much easier because I can look at trends and know what we really are spending each month. They show me where I may need to adjust, like if I'm overspending in one area or putting money towards things that slow our goals, I can see it fast and I can make those changes. So let's go over my budget categories really quick. I use the budget by paycheck method from the Budget Mom. This is the Google Sheet version, which is part of her Building Blocks course. Highly recommend it. It's been worth the investment for me, and in my opinion would be for you as well. So definitely check it out. So of course I track income, debt, investments, and savings, but I also break down our spending into categories that make sense for our lifestyle. So bills, that's all of our fixed expenses. Kids, everything we spend specifically related to them. Entertainment, this could be like our theme park passes. It could also be for movies, bowling, basically any type of like family fun that we would do, that's considered entertainment. Food, this is specifically for our groceries. Miscellaneous, anything that doesn't fit in a particular category or perhaps it was unexpected, that would go under miscellaneous. And then home, that's basically anything related to our house. Car, same, anything related to our vehicles. And pets, this is just for the entire farm that we have here. So to care for all of the babies. So if it's anything related to any of our pets, that's what it would go under. And then wellness and beauty, this is toiletries, makeup, yoga. You get the idea. Celebrations, this is holidays and birthdays for the most part. And then dining out, this has its own category because, to be honest, it's out of control. I am aware of this. I've been saying this for months. So I'm tracking every penny now to really see the damage. Well, or is it really? Is it really? Not sure. But it would just be really good to have like a really solid picture as to how much we're spending down to the penny. Okay, so let's talk about our first paycheck for the month of May. So let me just scroll over to May paycheck and cash envelope breakdown. Okay. So this is my check and it came out to $2,260. That's after taxes and pre-tax contributions. I am borrowing $151 from our checking account cushion because again, I like to fully fund our essential binder. So I take a little bit from the cushion and I replace it with the other checks throughout the month. So that brings our total income to $2,411. You might notice something missing, our TRD car payment. That's because we paid off my husband's car. Normally I would be more excited, but you'll understand why in a moment that it's kind of a mixed feeling. So we inherited some money recently. It was unexpected and again, like I said, brought mixed emotions, but I knew exactly what to do with it. I knew the minute we got it, I was going to pay off the car because that frees up $690 of income every single month. It's not lost on me that this money came from the loss of a loved one. And even though it was some time ago, I'm still processing that. So that'll be something that will take time. I'm not even sure. So it's again, mixed emotions, but I knew that it would be something that my family member would be proud of if I chose to pay off the car. So that's what we did. So here are the fixed expenses I'm covering this week. We have half of the mortgage, which is $450, the Six Flags passes, which is $58 for this time around. And I might cancel my husband's and mine and just keep our kids just because the prices went up and we don't go as often. And even when my husband and I do go, we are not on the rides. We like just go because we drove the kids there. But Sky drives now. And if they wanted to go without us, like that's totally fine. So I'm entertaining the idea of canceling. And then we have Microsoft 365, which is $2. So that, well, you could see here let me just backtrack. It's $73.33 for all the passes for the entire month. $58 comes out in this week, and then the rest comes out. So, that's nearly $75. And if I were to cancel my husband's and mine, it would free up at least maybe $45 of that. And every little bit, to put back into the budget helps. So our total for our fixed expenses is $510, which leaves us with $1,901. So now on to our variable expenses. With this first check, again, I like to fully fund our essential binder and our pet binder. So for groceries and gas, we are cashless. We put $525. That is $200 to gas, $325 to groceries. We transfer money from our main checking account to a secondary checking account that we all have access to. That way, if anyone needs to get gas or if anyone needs to pick up a gallon of milk on the way home, they have the card and the access to this cash to do so. I highly recommend this setup if you're budgeting with a spouse or a significant other, even a roommate where you have like shared expenses, like have an account where you guys both throw your money in that goes towards, those shared expenses. The rest I cash stuff because I handle most of the shopping. So here's where that money's going. So we have spending, which is $175, $100 for my husband, $75 for me. Pets is going to go ahead and get $300. Household is going to get $63. We need to build this one back up. Same with toiletries, that's going to get $83. And then nails, this is going to get $145, which normally we do $125, but I'm actually going to have her remove this entire set and put a fresh set on. It's time. It's been, like, they haven't broken, so I've never asked for a new set, but it came up this last time. We talked about it and she goes, I think you could, like, it's time. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Date night is getting its typical $100, dining out $300, miscellaneous $25, and then kids, we're going to go ahead and put $100. Kids is basically, sure, why not? Random spending, random requests that they have. I like to just have that cash ready to go for that. So sorry, I don't know if you saw my daughter in the background. She's out in the yard. So our total for our fixed expenses, So our total for our variable expenses is $1,816, leaving us with $85. So typically what we like to do, each paycheck is put $20 towards our water and trash. These are bills that are not billed monthly, so I like to put a little bit away each month. That way when the bill generates, I am completely prepared. And then I did not forget this week, but we have our 52-week savings challenge and our bookmark savings challenge. So that was a total of $45. So I have my cash envelope breakdown right here. So basically we are going to be cash stuffing $1,376. So that's how I'm setting up our first paycheck for the month of May. Every dollar has a job, and now we get to cash stuff, which is my favorite part. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to give this video a like. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments below how you're budgeting for May, if you're trying to rein in on any categories like what I'm doing with dining out. I mean, I'm not necessarily reining in just yet. I'm just really paying attention to how much we're spending. Are we going over that 300? Because I haven't done very well at tracking that lately, and I'd like to do that. So now let's get into the cash stuffing. All right, we've got the money, and we're going to go ahead and give this account. This pouch, along with the teller, like the cash breakdown teller slips, these are available in my shop. So you can choose just to have this, or you can add a pouch with like vinyl of your choice. Like, I'll put whatever you want. You tell me what you want it to say and I'll do that. And you can have this with starlight finish or without. And then I also have the smaller card version. But I like this because you can, if you have a ringed wallet or binder, you would just throw this in there and take it out at the bank. So let's go ahead and get this cash on to the tray. I'm not going to go ahead and count it, because I already actually counted it this time ahead of time. I know they counted at the bank, but I like to triple check it. Okay, so this is $1,376. All right, let's go. So we're going to hop into my essentials binder and take care of this first. I love this binder so much. So this is my essentials binder. Dashboards are from my shop as well as the envelopes. The actual binder is from Pink X Everything. So depending on what platform you're watching this, she'll either be tagged or it'll be linked in the description. But yeah, it is so soft and like smushy. I love it. All right, so let's hop right in. And we're going to go ahead and pull out my personal spending money from last week. And I believe I took a few dollars for my wallet. Let's see. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75. Nope, I didn't. So this 75 is actually going to go towards savings challenges. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in the back. And then we're going to just put in another 75 for the week. So I do 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do 8 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I do 3 10s. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's my 75 for the week. And again, I will challenge myself to not spend it and put it towards savings challenges. My husband, I already gave him $40. So I'm going to go ahead and put $60. So 20, 40, 60. Well, let me give him that one. Okay, so he's going to get $60 because I had already given him 40 before I got around to cash stuffing. Okay, and then we have rollover for kids, which I make note of on my spending tracker because I want to know in terms of cash, how much did I start the month with? So we had $30 left over, which I will just be rolling over into the next month. And we're just going to go ahead and do 5 20s, so $100. Okay, so now we have 130, 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 30. Perfect. So I generally will roll over in these categories. I just roll it over to the next month. I don't like pull it out and put it towards like another category. Some people do that, like anything they have left over in their wallet, or in my case, the essentials binder, they then put towards another savings category. I do not, I roll it over. So let's go ahead and jump to dining out. I did 3 50s. I did 120s. Those are kind of nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that should be 120s. Let me make sure. Yes. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and do 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 50 and 10s. So let's see. Make sure that this is $300. So we have 150, 170, 190, 210, 230, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300. All right. And then we're going to move to date night. And this is going to get its typical 100, and I just like to do 250s. Okay, and then for nails, I'm actually going tomorrow. Today is May 1st, like happy May, right? Tomorrow is my nail appointment, so I'm going to go ahead and put 145. Oh, screen timed out. So let's go ahead and do 100. And then I did 120, 110, and then I'm doing 3 5s. Okay, so make sure this is 145, 120, 30, 45. Perfect. All right. And toiletries, we're going to go ahead and add 83. And I believe if I did the math correctly, that will put us at 300, which is where I usually stop adding more. And then I'll just replenish as we use it. So I did 50, 60, 70, 80, 3. So let's see if this worked out the way I intended for it to. So 100, 200, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 5, 96, 97, 98, 99. Yep, $300. Perfect. So I just stop at 300 because I think that's sufficient. And then as I spend from it, I then focus on replenishing it over like the couple months after that. So household, we really need to add 2 because we definitely depleted this one. So I'm going to do 63. So I did 3 20s and then I did 3 1s. Okay, so now we have 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Yeah, we definitely need to keep working on building that back up. All right, miscellaneous. I actually depleted this one. I had to tip someone and I needed to use cash. So there was 40 left in here. And so I went ahead and just used that. So I'm going to add $25. And I believe, yeah, I just did a 20 and a 5. All right, so that's it for the miscellaneous binder. I love my snow leopard envelopes. I really just love everything that sparkles and shines. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's just attractive to my eye. Now let's hop into the pet binder. All right. So this is my pet binder. Basically, I will be adding an envelope for our parakeets because we did get parakeets. So I need to add an envelope for them. But it was my daughter's, both of them, like decision. So they covered the beginning of like funding it, like food and stuff, but I want to add an envelope for them. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put in Atlas's envelope $20. Just did a 20. And I actually just purchased food for them, so I do need to like unstuff just a little bit from each of their envelopes. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 110, 125. Okay, Sadie lady's getting 20. 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110, 120, 130. My Sadie lady. Okay, and then for Bodie, he's my Bodufasa. So I have a $2 bill in there, but we needed to add a little bit more to his because we depleted his envelope when we purchased his food this last time. So I'm going to add 40. So we'll have 42 in his envelope. And then just my baby doggies, we're going to go ahead and add 20. So now we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. Okay, building that one back up because we did just purchase their native supplements, so we definitely used quite a bit. Cat food is going to go ahead and get $5. So now we have 20, 40, 55. And my oldest daughter has taken on a foster stray cat, purchased it a cat house outside, and is feeding it. So she volunteered to purchase the next bag of cat food since obviously we're using our regular cat food, which I think is awesome. And I don't mind caring for, you know, an animal that is in need. And this cat has become fond of our family and our yard. And I think she's trying to get into the house, so I'm not going to lie. So I don't know if that's eventually going to happen. So we're going to put 15 into Coco's envelope. We did just get a new bag of her prescription food, so now it's time to save up for it because it's about $105, $106. So we have 10, 20, 3. She needs a prescription food because someone was leaving the state and decided taking their cat with them was not in their agenda. I have my feelings about that. And there was no way I was going to let Sweet Coco go into a shelter, so of course I took her. Come to find out, they did declaw her front paws, which breaks my heart because I'm completely against that. And she still does the kneading, you know what I mean? But there's no nails, so I just feel like it's, I don't know, traumatizing in my opinion. So when we got her, I think they knew that there was issues, that she had stones in her bladder. They had to have known, because by the time we realized this issue existed, it was bad enough to where we had to spend over $2,000 for her to have a surgery just to save her life. And then in order for those to not develop, she needed to be on a special diet. So we're just doing what we need to do. We took on this, I guess you could say like fostered her, but then she became family, not knowing really what we were getting ourselves into. But I don't have the heart to be like, oh, this is too much, a financial burden, and then rehome her. That'd be sad to like make her have to go through rehoming several times. So that was not even an option. So we love her to pieces. So Jurassic Park is going to go ahead and get 25. So 25. Sometimes my brain is moving faster than my mouth and it just all comes out jumbled. So Jurassic Park now has 100, 200, and 40, 50, 60, 70, 85, 86, 87. It's 287. So we definitely have enough for our next bag of koi food that we have to get. But honestly, we're not done with this one. Like, I don't even know when we're going to have to purchase. This bag is so big, has lasted us, 2 years now at this point? Like, it is crazy. But I want to make sure that we're ready for the next time. And it's just unfortunate because Krunk has since passed. Hunter just passed. That was so traumatizing for Sky because she'll be 17 this month in May. On May 5th, actually, she's my Cinco de Mayo baby. And Hunter, she's had him since she was like 4, maybe 5. So over a decade. I mean, literally, it is heartbreaking to watch your kid's heart break. And she knew something was wrong. We knew something was wrong. She was holding him through the night on her chest, and that's where he passed. There's no better place for him to have passed, though. It is bittersweet. And to be woken up in the middle of the night with her coming in saying, I think he's gone, and literally falling to the ground. I mean, I don't want to talk about it, but for being a mom, like watching your kid's heart break like that, your heart shatters too, So she said absolutely, without a doubt, she didn't want anyone to get her a new bearded dragon. That was it. She was not interested in getting a new one. Hunter was the one. When she was little, she said she was going to marry him. Like, he was her man, So I think that her getting the parakeets must have been her trying to fill the void. So I wasn't going to say no. So I guess the birds could be considered part of Jurassic Park. But it's hard for me to remake the envelope and remove these two. So I don't know if and when that will happen. We'll see. All right, chickens, we have depleted this one. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add 45. So now we have 46. And I'm going to post a couple, like either videos, pictures, or whatnot of our new babies. We do have 5 babies in the house right now, and only 2 from our original 7 that are still with us. That is Storm and that is Latte. And they see the babies from a distance when we give the babies outdoor time, but it'll be soon to try to integrate them. But I will do it with a divider for a while just to see how they are going to be. I think it'll be fine. They're very both friendly and gentle, so I think it's okay. My new bunch, the 5, I have no idea if any of them are going to wind up being a rooster because we had lost both of our roosters, Reese being the most recent, and again, traumatizing for Sky because literally just a couple days after Hunter, she found him in the garden not doing so well. In his coop, but which is halfway in my garden. Almost like if something poisoned him. And she tried to rush him to the vet, but he died in the car on the way there. She was devastated all over again. I was like, you know what, April, goodbye. We are done with April. A lot of things happened in April that just made it a very sad month. So I'm happy that it is May 1st. Happy May. Happy May. Let's have a great month because I am so over all the sadness. All right, so we're going to go into vet appointments and we're going to go ahead and add $20. Let's see where we're at. So we have 100, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 310. I know I said I was going to stop at 300, but I'm just going to slowly add. I'm just going to add. I don't think it hurts to add a little bit more and just be prepared. We have a lot of animals. If I do the math, I don't even know. I'd have to really think about that. Maybe you guys can count with me. And and tell me in the comments. Like, I'll just tell you what we have and then we'll go from there. So let's see, flea prevention, $5. All right, so we do have 3 dogs. We do have 3 cats. And if you count the one that's outside, I guess you could say 4. And then, so now we have 21. We have 2 red ear sliders, turtles. We have 3 koi, 2 big goldfish, plus this little one that if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen that I have this mysterious little fish. I'll post a video in my pond, and I have no idea where it came from. I don't know if the koi's had baby or the goldfish had babies. I'm not really sure where this little guy came from, but he's in there. I don't know. We have a sucker fish, you know, the ones that like eat all the algae. And we have the 2 chickens outside, the 5 chickens inside, and we have 7 parakeets. And that's it. Oh God, and also in April, Miss Rivers crawfish. I call it a lobster because that's what it looked like. Winter died. Her crying too. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's bound to happen when you allow pets into your house and you allow them into your heart. They become family. And when things happen, it is truly devastating. I know not everyone has a heart like that for animals. Some people are just like, it's just an animal, you know, and I get that. I respect your opinion, but I also respectfully disagree. Like, they are 100% family. So grooming, which is specifically for Bodhi because of the fur, Atlas and Sadie, they don't need it. But for Bodhi, we have 50, 60, 70, 80, and it is time because it's starting to heat up. So we'll get him groomed really soon. And then treats and toys, we're going to go ahead and add 15. Okay, so now we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 85. I actually have to pull a little bit because I didn't have enough with me that day and I used my card, so I have to pay myself back. Pet licensing, we're going to go ahead and add 10. We just paid Atlas's fee, and I want to be prepared for when the next one comes. And then we're not adding anything to Koi Pond this time around. So let's hop into high priority. All right, so we have only 2 categories in high priority, and that's going to be in the home section. Okay, so let's hop back here to trash. We're going to add 20. So now we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 25. We just paid the bill, and this one's billed quarterly, so we'll definitely have enough by the time the next bill generates. Water, I think, is about to come out of my account, so I actually need to pull some money from here. So I might do a cash no, it's not unstuffing. No, that's a bill condensing. No, this would be a cash unstuffing. Yeah, I'll be doing that soon. So we have 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 190, 210, 230. That is fabulous. That is like enough for the next 2 bills. So I might pause on water. We'll see. Edison will come later in the month. So that's pretty much it for the high priority. All right, last but not least, we're going to do the 52-week savings challenge. Sorry for the glare. And the bookmark savings challenge. So we are starting on section 5, starting with week 21. And I'm just going to challenge myself to do $25 for each of the weeks. Yep, I can talk. So let's go ahead and add 25. And let's mark that off. And then let's hop to the bookmark, which is $20 for the first week of May. And I don't know if I did it on camera, but I did scratch off the bonus from April, which is 15. And I also looked at the one from February, which I think was 50. So I'm definitely going to be fulfilling both of those bonuses this month, but later on in the month. All right, so that's it for the cash stuffing portion of the video. All right, friends, so that wraps up our first cash stuffing for the month of May. The entire essentials binder and pet binder are completely funded. If you're also budgeting by Paycheck, I hope this video gave you some ideas on how to set up your budget categories and giving every dollar a purpose. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos. I post every week to keep it real and hold myself accountable mostly, and I'd love to have you on this journey with me. Leave a comment below. What is one category that you're focusing on for in May or possibly adjusting in May? Let's chat budget in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for being here. Happy budgeting, and don't forget to breathe.